David Ebershoff is a writer, editor and teacher born in Pasadena on 17 January 1969. He has published 4 novels, all bestsellers, critically acclaimed and translated into more than 20 countries. The Danish Girl is one of the greatest masterpieces. In fact, it won the Lambda Literary Award for transgender fiction. The film was produced based on the story of the book, directed by Tom Hooper, and published in 2015. The book was written in 2000 and the story was inspired by the lives of the Danish painters Lili and Greta Wegner. The story takes place in Copenhagen, Denmark, in 1920, and it talks about the story of 2 married painters, specifically a portrait painter and a landscape painter, who, despite their different job and relationship difficulties, continue to love each other. The situation changed when Greta asks Einar to dress in the role of a model, who could not be present during the portrait. Meanwhile, Greta is invited to a party organized by the model in which Einar is disguised as Lily. From that moment, he begins to understand that his body also belongs to a woman. However, this situation also has repercussions in the couple, but Greta decides not to abandon him, helping him as much as possible in understanding the situation. Meanwhile, she continues to paint portraying Lily. These portraits are successful and Greta gets a job offer in Paris and decides therefore to move to the city. Here she is seduced by Hans, an old friend of Einar, but she has no intention of undertaking a new relationship because she wants to continue to stay next to her husband. The great desire to become a woman increases more and more, so that Einar consults several doctors until he meets one who proposes a surgery. After consulting him about it, Einar is increasingly convinced to face it, despite it is something experimental, never tried before, and very dangerous. Einar undergoes a first surgery which is very good. However, the rush to finish everything as soon as possible leads Lily to push doctors to perform the second surgery, which completely fails. The next day, Lily dies in Greta's arms. This story is taken from a true story. Both the book and the film have been a great success, not only for the love story, but also for the great message it transmits. In the book, Lily is much more free to express herself without posing too many limits, while Einar is not fought with himself unlike the film, in which a great inner struggle strikes him. This situation makes him suffer, both because he is not well in his body and because when he disguises himself as Lily, he sees Greta suffer. Finally, another difference between book and film is the ending. In the book, Greta refuses to sustain Lily to undergo the last surgery, while in the film she stays next to her until the day of her death.
God, you're saved. Where did it go well? Tell me, how was it?
You'd know if you'd been there.
I made us a supper.
You should have come.
It's a little sort of celebration.
This is not how it goes. We do these things together.
That was you and I now.
Stop playing that stupid game.
Please, Gerda. Don't you think this is a game?
You should have been there.
How could I? Look at me.
Not everything is about you. need to see Einar.
Let me help, please.
I need my husband. Can you get him?
I can't.
I need to talk to my husband. I need to hold my husband. I need him.
This story conveys very important messages because it deals some topics that in the past as well as today are very difficult to deal with. One of the many topics deal with are LGTB rights. Einar fights so that he can become a woman traveling in several cities to undergo surgeries, despite being considered a sick person. This film was taken as an example for all transgender people who believe in their rights to become what they are. In fact, the film is inspired by a reality of facts, especially the personalities of Lily and Greta. In the film, everyone, including doctors, consider Lily's situation as a disease, not believing in him but seeing him as an unhealthy person. Greta is the only person who supports him, and it is the reason why he has fear of losing her, despite wanting to become Lily, because she is the only person who comforts her in the darkest and most difficult period of her life. This film tried to convey to the public the true nature of transgender people. In this case, we see the bipolarity of Lily, who is fighting between two different personalities within the same body. The presence of Greta, however, makes the situation more difficult because there is more pronounced bipolarity in Lily's body. This situation has created problems in the relationship with Greta because the latter, for Einar's sake, wants to help her husband change sex, as if she were happy with her husband's change. I chose this book because the story impressed me a lot, especially the fact that it is a true story. I think it is a way to convey very important messages to people, like be always yourself. In fact, the love that Greta has towards Einar, especially in supporting him in this change, makes it clear that people who love you support you even if the situation can make suffer people close to you. In the role of Einar, there is this feeling of inner conflict between him and another entity that is slowly discovering. In this way, there is a great transformation of Einar and consequently of the relationship between him and Greta. This story conveys a very important message because we live in a society that tends to close, not giving people the chance to be completely themselves and bringing them to be afraid of the judgment of others. In the past, it was more difficult to deal with because there were not many such cases, so that the first people who began to suffer from this double personality were considered sick. For this reason, this story is an example for all those people who are afraid to assert themselves for what they are.